Hi, welcome to the Me and My Bass series. In this series, I will bore you with some interesting facts about some of the basses or bass related, audio related stuff I own. I will tell you how I did purchase them and why. Further, I will tell you my humble opinion about their playability and their sound. This time's up. As you may know by now, my go-to amp simulator is the UAD Ampeg SVT VR. First, a little background story about the Ampeg. The Ampeg SVT is a bass guitar amplifier designed by Bill Hughes and Roger Cox for Ampeg and introduced in 1969. The SVT is a standalone amplifier or head, as opposed to a combo unit comprising amp and speakers in one cabinet, and was capable of 300 watt output at the time. Uh, at the time when most amplifiers couldn't exceed 100 watt output, making the SVT an important amp for bands playing music festivals and other larger venues. The SVT has been through many design changes over the years but is still in production today. While the SVT could be used with any 300 watt 2 or 4 ohm cabinet combination, Ampeg recommended that it be used with a pair of sealed 8 by 10 speaker enclosures because one cabinet could not handle the power of the SVT. It wasn't until the 1980s that the speakers in the enclosures were updated to a power handling rate of 350 watts, allowing a player to use the SVT head with only one cabinet. SVT originally stood for Super Vacuum Tube, but that has been changed to Super Valve Technology, with the word valve referring to the vacuum tubes called valves in Britain and in some other regions, because those were used in the amp. In this case, my case, is a software version of the classic amp, which runs as a VST plugin on any computer as long as you got a piece of UAD hardware. In my case, it's the Apollo Twin. Why did I buy this device? Well, when I bought the interface, the Ampeg SVT was included, but it was a stripped down version with only channel 2 available and no mids, etc. Later on, I upgraded it to the full version. But first, what has UAD to say about this plugin?
Developed by Brainworks, the Ampeg SVT VR-based amplifier plugin offers an exact emulation of the classic 300-watt all-tube behemoth and its equally legendary 8x10 for UAD hardware and UAD audio interfaces. The legendary SVT bass amp is the result of Ampeg's desire to create the biggest, nastiest bass amplifier in the world.
Mission accomplished.
The SVT has righteously stood the test of time, regardless of genre, with unmatched power and tone. Now you can track and reamp with the burly, unmistakable tube tone of the immortal SVT bass amp. Harnessed the power of the SVT Classics 8x10 cabinet, auditioned 23 different high-end recording chains with a selection of microphones, cabinets, and outboard gear.
What attracted me to buy the full version of this plugin was the fact that indeed the sound of this amp is the sound I heard a million times on recordings I love. Plug in a Fender Precision and you're done. Okay, let's plug the bass in, but first let me show you the interface before I run through a couple of presets provided by UAD. Okay, here we are. This is the Ampeg SVT VR from UAD. Okay, let's take a close look. It's by the way in the usual Rock A setting. And what we got here? Well, there are two different channels, two different inputs. You have the normal input and the bright input. This is the normal input, so it sounds like. like this. And this is the I don't know why you should need that one, but okay. And as you can see, channel 1 has volume, treble, mid-range, bass, and a couple of rocker switches here for the ultra high and the settings for the mid-range. That has 3 settings right here. Then also a rocker switch for the bass, ultra low, off, or bass cut. And of course the bass knob itself. This is channel 2. This is channel 2. And then we have here volume, treble, and bass. Also a rocker switch for the ultra high on and off, or ultra low on and off. Going down, we have here a section which is normally not to be found on a bass amp, but I'm glad it's on there. There's a noise gate, and you can, this is the threshold and range for the noise gate. And we have some sort of a compressor right here, pre-post and off, tight, and you can dial in the frequency where it starts to work, and also smooth, that's the same thing, but then on the high side. This is for the input gain. If your bass isn't loud enough, you can push it some more with this knob, and then a power soak thing right here. So if I'm, for instance, this is normal. Now I'm gonna put the input gain at 20 dB. If I hit it too hard, it goes terribly loud, and I can soak it right there. Which also is handy for so you can overdrive your amp and dial it down with the power soak. And then we have here a switch for the cabinet if you want the horn for more high, on or off. And you can look here, and then you see a lot of possibilities in the cabinet sections. 8x10s with different microphones, dynamic 57s, a ribbon mic, and then the 1x15 inch, and 4x10s, and 4x10 and 150, etc, etc. Everything, of course, has a totally different sound. And if you like to check it out and think, well, I like to go through this with, oh no, not this, no. Let's put it on channel 1. This sounds great. And when you push this button, it automatically every bar has a different cabinet, and so you can check out which one is the best for you. Well, that's it on the interface side. Now we're going to listen to a couple of presets which UAD has made for this amp. The signal flow in these clips was the base into the UAD Apollo Twin with the Ampeg SVT simulation running on it in the Unison slot. It's not the first time I praised the Ampeg SVT, but my god, what an amp. I love this simulation so much, I profiled it also on my camper, so I could use it live as well without bringing a computer. I also had two 8x10 cabinets at one point, hard key cabinets by the way, so I know how much this stuff can wait. My back still says thank you every time I start up this plugin. Well, that's it for this episode. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you by the next one, in the next one, for the next one, whatever. Thank you. Bye bye.